the Dolphins. Matthew Barnhill, former Midway High School linebacker and also Alabama linebacker, joins us now on 365 Sports. Matthew, Craig Smoak, Paul Catalina, and David Smoak. What was your reaction when you heard the news yesterday?
Smokey, thanks for having me on. It's great to be on and I get to talk with you guys. Yesterday was a whirlwind. I really had no idea that this was happening. And I think Pat said it well when he said that everybody had kind of expected this, but we didn't know exactly when it was going to come. Towards the last couple of years, we had started to think about it at the end of the year. But in no way did I expect it to come yesterday. So it was definitely a shock. A lot of feelings that I've never really had to feel before with Alabama football. I've been alive for 24 years, and Coach Saban has been ahead of the team for 17 of them. So it's definitely a change and definitely a shock.
Matthew, you walked on there, and the life of a walk-on is not easy. I mean, it is to walk on, to make the team, to stay with the team for your entire college career is really, really something. What was it like experiencing that from that perspective as a guy who was not, when you walked into the football offices, there wasn't the band playing and cheerleaders and everybody waiting for you, but you earned your way up in a different way.
Yeah, so I definitely had more of a hard-working story when it came to it. I wasn't a big 5-star recruit or 4-star recruit that they brought the bells and whistles out for or anything like that. But from my perspective, I had a chance to work my way in and with that have the opportunity to belong just as much as the other guys did. And what I love about Coach Saban is he will talk about his college playing career. He played at Kent State. And he was a kick returner for him. So he had the experience of playing and saying, I wasn't the best player on my team, but I knew where I fit in. So, being surrounded by programs that had hardworking and just really kind of disciplined mindsets my whole life, I thought, yeah, this is an opportunity where I can really fit in. And Coach Saban's a guy that anybody would love to play for. He could motivate you to do anything, and just feeling like I had the chance to play for him and learn from him was definitely different as a walk-on. But I got all the same motivation. I got all the same principles instilled in me, and that's something that I will forever credit in my life. It's a great foundation.
Matt, can you just speak to the love that Alabama has for Nick Saban? We've seen the memorial, even though he's still here, he's fine, he's healthy from all indications, but it's almost like there was a funeral just because he's so beloved and the success that he had there. But what has been the conversation with your fellow Alabama, ex-teammates or just friends or what have you over the last, I guess, less than 24 hours, but the last day or so?
Yeah, so some of the guys I was closer with on the team are, they come from similar backgrounds as me. So from our perspective, it's more like, thank you, Coach, for letting us have the honor of playing for you. And when you think of the University of Alabama, Nick Saban's the first thing you think of. From every account that I've heard from natives of Alabama, my wife was a native Birmingham lady, but so I've been able to hear a bunch of stories how it was before. He completely changed the university in every way. You look around, there's brand new buildings, there's brand new everything. And a lot of that can be attributed to the football team. So it's kind of a thing where, what do we do? Where do we go from here? That's been on the mind of a lot of Alabama fans and ex-players. And those statues, they mean everything. When you have a coach that wins the national championship and can bring that to a university, it's just on another level. In a way, my heart's broken because I love the guy so much. Everybody has nothing but respect for a guy who's a born winner and a born competitor in every aspect of the word.
Matt, is there a conversation at all with him that you remember that might have been with you, or something he said to you that sticks with you to this day, among many things he said as a coach?
Yeah, so Coach Saban had called me out one time in particular that I can feel. And it's almost like I took a mental rep in a way, or I took a lackadaisical rep on a kickoff return. I didn't think in any way that I would be seen. It was kind of like I didn't go into a break at 100%. It was more about 50%, and he jumped all over me. And I just remember feeling, wow, how does Coach Saban know that out of all 22 practice players that are on the field right now for this one rep, that he can pick out on the instant something that was wrong, a player that wasn't giving his all. And that motivated me to just really try to give every bit in my preparation, every bit in practice, and every bit that I could in every aspect of the game. So that was a different expectation that I've been held to, and it motivated me to be better in everything that I did, especially because it was coming from Coach Saban. So that's equally terrifying as motivating, I will admit, but it was definitely a great experience.
Kind of like your mother, eyes in the back of her head, right? That you would think.
Exactly.
Okay, so that leads me to the question I was going to ask you anyway. Okay, Matt, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
The scariest movie I've ever seen? Maybe Midsummer.
Okay, Midsummer. That's a really freaky, weird movie. What is scarier, Midsummer or Nick Saban 2 seconds after someone jumps off sides?
I definitely have to take Coach Saban on that.
Yeah, he has a way of going from totally calm, and I would imagine as a player, this is why it works, because he's not a ranting lunatic over there, but he's totally calm and control. But when the little mistakes happen, he just throws the fastball right at you, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, a switch is flipped, and when a point needs to be enforced, he makes the point. He gets it in control, and then it's business as usual. So it's always you never want to mess up, and you definitely never want to have him see you mess up. So that was definitely definitely intimidating, but it was also a great way of handling business. It teaches you to move on and learn from your mistakes quickly.
And he hated the little things that weren't, a false start, and too many men on the field, things like that. Turnovers happen. The other team's on scholarship too. Do you think, and Matt, thanks for your time today, do you feel like this team, where they were after the loss to Texas, the USF near nightmare, the benching of Jalen Milroe, was this, in your opinion, one of his better coaching jobs watching them?
I think if it wasn't one of the better, then it was the best. These guys were able to improve so much. I was in person for the Texas game. It's heartbreaking being a native Texan and an Alabama fan for that one. But these guys were able to improve, and I feel like this is the best example of Coach Saban being able to instill the Bama standard in a team that was lacking in it from the start. So I'm so proud of these guys this year, and I really hope that people in the future know that there's a standard that we were held to, and that's the standard that we'll always have for the program. And that's a lot thanks to Coach Saban, but there's been Coach Gene Stallings and Coach Bear Bryant, and we know that the best is yet to come as well.
Hey, it's always great to hear from you, and thank you for your time today to look back and reflect back on not just Nick Saban, but you. You were recruited, you went there as a walk-on, and you got a scholarship and played for the man. Thank you, Matt. Matthew Barnhill, former Midway at Alabama linebacker, with us on Nick Saban, the decision that came down on Wednesday.
Yeah, he was,